You had known about Wasp's history with Bumblebee since you were close friends with the Autobots. But despite all of the Autobots' warnings, you had decided to become close friends with Wasp since he was on Earth. You casually end up seeing him near the pier in Detroit. You recognize him because of his colors and the fact that he looks like Bee. So you go up to him and say, "Hey Wasp, how you doing?" And he immediately jumps and turns bot form, and he's about to shoot you since he has the same powers as Bee. Then he realizes that it's you, and he pulls his stinger back in and cautiously asks, "Listener, why did you come up on me like that?" And you calmly say, "I thought you saw me. I was trying to be as loud as possible." After a while, and B got it so that you and Wasp were dating. So one day, you had noticed that you hadn't seen Wasp since the beginning of the week. You were nervous because you knew that Wasp didn't like others, so he had a high tendency to try to attack and then seclude himself. So when you see B heading out to go do something, you decide you're going with him. And when you see what happened to Wasp, because Black Arachnia turned him into Waspinator, you're a little upset, but you go up to him and gently tap his leg. Then you say, "Wasp, sweetie, it's me. Wanna talk?" And he looks at you and is about to sting you, but then he realizes who you are, and tears start coming out of his eyes. He's clearly upset, and then he asks, Why not scared of Wasp in the dark? I'm a monster. I shouldn't be trusted." Then you calmly say, "Wasp, look, no matter what happens, you're my boyfriend and I love you. Nothing will ever change that, okay? You are not a monster. I'm sure I can trust you." Black Arachnia is about to attack you, then Wasp picks you up and flies up to the ceiling to stop her from harming you. And you're surprised because you didn't realize he had wings, even though he was literally fused with a wasp. So you cautiously say, "Thanks, Waspy. I didn't know you could fly." Then he smiles and says happily, "Well, now I have wings. So now we can go more places." And you smile happily and say, "Yeah, I guess so." And you gently kiss his cheek. And then he sets you on his shoulder. And you realize he's a little fluffy. Then you realize that's probably because of what he was fused with. After a while, and you were just petting Wasp's wings, since you were with him in the forest after Black Arachnia had been captured. The Autobots were watching, completely confused as to how a human can be with a Predacon so calmly without getting injured. Then you calmly say to Wasp, "Hey Waspy, you know how most people fear bees, wasps, yellow jackets, and hornets?" Then he casually responds, "Yeah, what about it?" You happily say, "Well, I've never actually been scared of them. They're not that bad. They're just little friends of sorts. All of them are just pollinators, so without them, everyone on Earth would die." The wasp smiles and then says happily, "You always try to find the bright side of things, even when there's not supposed to be a bright side. That's one of the many, many things I love about you." You happily say, "I love you too, Waspy."